The David Moss Foundation was founded in 2004 with a group of volunteers passionate about making a difference. In its first year, the David Moss Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament raised over $40,000 for the Seminole County Boys and Girls Club and Camp Boggy Creek. This year's annual Celebrity Golf Tournament will be held at the elegant Waldorf Astoria, Orlando, with an event full of celebrity meet and greets, golf, of course, and more. Our friends from the David Moss Foundation join us next on Bayside. Good morning and welcome to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelley Sanders. We're talking all about the David Moss Foundation and, of course, their fantastic golf tournament coming up here in September. So without further ado, welcome to the show, David Moss Jr. here with us.
Thank you.
He may look familiar to you. You may have seen him on TV. Of course, that's where most people know you from, I'm sure, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Well, welcome to Bayside. We're happy
you.
to have you here.
Glad to be here. Thank you very much.
You know, your family has been a staple, certainly in the Central Florida region, doing amazing things for, I know I talked about it a little bit in the open, some of the charities that you guys have supported over the years. And the tradition continues on, and you've brought it to the Bay Area now, expanding things. That's got to be exciting for your family, in addition to exciting to the charities that you go to benefit. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. Well, when we started the David Moss Foundation back in 2004, it was just like you said, it was a small group of volunteers that were just passionate about making a difference. And when we narrowed it down and really looked at where can we make the biggest difference, we always focus on the future, but to focus on the future, you got to focus on the now, and those are our children. There's so many children that are born with sicknesses, premature illnesses, and their families are unable to be there with them. So we really dove into how can we make the biggest difference, how can we make the biggest impact? And that's really where the David Moss Foundation was born and bred, was taking care of children and their families in the times of need.
Sure. So was that always a passion of your family and previous generations as well, and it just sort of found its way and evolved into that, where you're helping the community?
Absolutely. So it's crazy. When my brother was born, I was small. I didn't really understand what was going on. I just remember being at my grandma's house while my parents were traveling back and forth to the hospital because my brother was born with a hole in his heart with a little condition. So everything's good now, he's all great. But when that was going on, I remember my dad was always saying, if I ever made it, if I ever was able to make a difference, I would want to do something where families in those times of distress were able to be closer to their kids and not have to drop me off at a family member's while my brother's born and I'm not really understanding what's going on. And so much of that happens so often.
Sure.
And you know, there's charities that we do a lot with, such as the Ronald McDonald House of Central Florida and now in Tampa Bay, and really all over Florida, and they're making such a huge impact on these families. And if you watch their stories and you go to the Ronald McDonald houses and just talk to the families that are there, I mean, it'll tug on your heartstrings. It'll make you want to do more.
Absolutely, and I get the sense it's infectious just to watch you talk about it. Much more rewarding to give and help. Absolutely. Than what you expected, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And isn't that what charity is about? I mean, it starts off where, yes, okay, you're doing a good deed. So if you at home need a reason to reach out and help, it's always about helping, because you never know if you're the one that's going to need the help. And I'm sure your family realized that. And I'm glad to hear your brother's doing well, doing
Absolutely.
great. So let's talk about all the different charities that you've helped over the years.
It's a long list. We primarily do a lot with the Ronald McDonald Houses of Central Florida and of Tampa Bay. We do a lot with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, the Autism Society of Greater Orlando, Boys and Girls Club, Camp Boggy Creek. The list is pretty long, and all of those charities do phenomenal work. And if you haven't ever visited one of those homes or ever visited one of those charity sites, go visit them. Schedule a meet and bring the whole family. It's really powerful. It's really powerful because me as a young boy, when I was going to the Ronald McDonald Houses around Christmas time, and we were bringing presents to the families that were there during the holidays, that, you know, they would, if they could choose, they would choose to be at their home under the Christmas tree, but they had no choice. And to go there and just to celebrate, cook dinners, cook meals, it's just absolutely powerful. I mean, it'll absolutely imprint on your heart and make you want to give. And you know, a lot of people think you have to be a multimillionaire to give back. You don't. Every little bit counts. Every little bit adds up. And if it's not giving money, give your time. If you have the ability to go to one of these charities and give your time, you can. If you have the ability, if it's giving $5, and that it can make a difference. Every little bit can make a huge difference.
And we've had the Ronald McDonald House on before, or people representing that house, and even people that have used their services as well. And they talk about how it just is life-changing outside of what's happening there, but life-changing even for volunteers, because it becomes like an extension to their family.
It really does. It really does. And you become a part of that family. And you know, that's all of our, you know, obviously we sell cars, and that's no big secret, but everyone who works with us wears the David Moss Foundation on their heart. They don't wear our dealership. They wear the David Moss Foundation, and it's a big part of who we are. It's a big part of our entire culture and our entire family. And every once in a while, we'll go to the homes and cook for the families. Every once in a while, we'll schedule times where anybody who can donate time will go to the homes and give back to the families. And I'm telling you, it's infectious and it's amazing. And there's a lot of good stuff happening.
And I like how you said that. They wear the David Moss Foundation on their heart.
Yep.
Not necessarily the dealer logo.
Exactly.
So let's talk about, I mean, you're fortunate enough to be in that situation to help out, but it didn't start out that way.
Right.
And the humble beginnings is what really, it seems to have just grown, but not outgrown yourself, if that makes any sense. You know, you're still humble and still paying it forward and still paying back, giving back, I should say. Let's talk about some of the big accomplishments that you've had as a foundation.
Well, I think in the 14 years we've been established, it's been pretty incredible. We're just a small foundation. We have a lot of the same sponsors that sponsored us that first year sponsor us now in our 14th year at our golf tournament. And in a one-weekend event, we've been able to donate up to $150,000 in that weekend. Yeah. And what's cool is we don't take the donations and then go back and count and take 2 or 3 months. We actually donate on the spot to the charities. Some of the biggest accomplishments is we've been able to raise and donate over $1.5 million.
Wow.
Just as a small local charity. And we want to expand. We want to be able to do more. But I think that's a huge accomplishment. We've been able to house over 5 rooms at the Ronald McDonald House and sponsor a lot of really cool events that go on there. And really, the biggest thing is making a difference in each human being, in each person. Because at the end of the day, donating money is great, but leaving that experience in these families that are in that time of distress, that's really what it's all about. The money is the money, but being able to make a lifelong impact on them is really what counts the most.
Absolutely. Relationships.
Absolutely.
No one ever is on their last minute saying, gosh, I wish I'd have had a little more money. But they do remember the time, right?
Absolutely.
Goodness. All right, I'm sure you're wanting more information. And by the way, you can be a member of the David Moss Foundation. You just log on to the website you're looking at right there. Oh, yeah. And you can also play in this golf tournament. DavidMossFoundation.org, and that's MAUS, DavidMossFoundation.org. Log onto that website. That'll give you all the information you need to know about the foundation, about how you could volunteer if you want to, how you can get involved in that golf tournament. And we're going to tell you all about it, but we got to take a break. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. I've been talking with David Moss Jr. all about the David Moss Foundation. And of course, they have this great golf tournament coming up. Perhaps you've played in it before, you've competed, or maybe you're thinking about it. Well, I would highly advise you to do so, because this is a big deal right there. You're looking at it from the website point of view, and you can log on to davidmossfoundation.org and get all the lowdown there. So without further ado, David, tell me about this golf tournament. 14 years in the making. Does it seem like that long?
It really doesn't, but it kind of does. You know, it's crazy. The first year we started it at a small local golf course, Alaqua Country Club in Longwood, and filled the entire place up. It was incredible. Like you were seeing, we were able to donate $40,000 in just that first year, which was awesome. And a lot of the sponsors from that first year.
Year one.
Right?
Crazy.
And a lot of the sponsors from that first year have followed us all the way to the 14th year. And it's like a pinnacle moment of the year for all of us. We get excited about it. It's not just a charity. It's not just an event. It's family coming together, and it's really awesome. And we've been able to grow, and we've outgrown multiple golf courses and multiple venues. And now we're at the Waldorf Astoria in Orlando. And the golf course is beautiful, the venue is amazing, but the people, that's what makes the difference. It's absolutely one of my favorite times of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So speaking of times of the year, September 28th, 29th,
28th
right?
and 29th. We have a Meet the Pros event where you come out, it's a silent auction, it's a dinner, it's family. What's cool about it is it's not a suit and tie, you don't have to dress up, you can come as you are. A lot of people come in, they'll hang out at the pool or go to Disney World, go to the parks, and then they'll come back for the event, meet and greet the pros, and the pros are awesome. I mean, we have some of the best athletes and celebrities that come out to our event, and they're just so kind and humble, and that's really what we look for when we look to invite people out to the event. Is we want somebody who's not going to just go up to the room and sleep and wait to the golf tournament. We want somebody who's going to be there, stay there, and talk to all of the sponsors and talk to all the people who are there.
Right, and like-minded.
Absolutely.
Right? So let's talk about that. Can you tell me who some of the pros are this year? Are you allowed to tell me that yet?
There's a couple on the to be determined list that I'm pretty excited about, but everybody who's been able to come out has been awesome. And we've had some amazing people like Nick Anderson and Bo Outlaw from the Magic. They try to make their way out there every year, and they're just fun. We've got Tonga Fafita, who actually works with us, and he's King Haku, being one of the most feared and loved wrestlers in the wrestling world.
Oh, wow.
He's awesome. He's actually like a brother of mine. I've known him my whole life, and it's awesome to be able to see him every day. But he'll be out there. Fred Marion from the New England Patriots. Just the list really goes on, and it's not just athletes. It's a lot of local celebrities and people who have been actors or actresses as well. But I don't want to go through the whole list of them because I don't want to put them on the spot and make them feel obligated to come if something does come up. But the list of people who show up are absolutely, it's just the best time ever.
So in addition to just the meet and greet, some of the celebrities that are going to be partaking in the tournament, that Friday night on the 28th of September, and I'm going to repeat that for you again, September 28th and 29th, you're going to want to mark it on your calendars now. But in addition to the meet and greet, you also have a silent auction.
We do.
Is that right? Talk to me about that.
Oh, it's amazing. So we have a silent auction every year, and that's really the bread and butter of a lot of these charities. The golf is the fun, but the silent auction is really where we're able to raise a lot of the money, and everything is donated. We have some amazing events. We have from fishing tournaments to hunting tournaments to lodges that are given to accommodations at great resorts, golf packages, some really awesome photography, jewelry, bags, handbags, purses. The list also goes on there, and it's a long list of items that we get every year. And the donations are amazing. If you've been able to donate to us, thank you so much. And if you haven't and you'd like to, that would be awesome as well.
Hint. Hello, yes. That was my follow-up question is, okay, if we have a business owner out here that's thinking like, hey, I mean, I can give of my services or
that'd be great, yeah.
Our product, whatever the case may be.
And almost everybody who comes to our event is Central Florida, Tampa, Gulf area, Bay Area. So. So it's great if a local business does want to give or has a package they'd like to give. It will be well received, and we would greatly appreciate that.
Sure.
And it will be used as well.
And go for such a beautiful, beautiful reason, right? So let's, you know, I have to commend you first of all because obviously from day one you said some of the sponsors have been there from the beginning and they continue to have your back, so to speak, all the way now in your 14th year. Your silent auction items list gets longer and better every single year. The attendance, bet you outdo yourself every year. But really what it boils down to is that speaks volumes for what you guys are doing in the community, in and within the community. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Doing
I
big
appreciate
things.
that.
Doing big things. Where do you see, and do you have a goal for this year, first of all, with this tournament at all?
Last year we were able to raise and donate in the one weekend event $150,000,
Wow.
and that was our biggest year. And we would love
And that's
to.
just a two days.
Yep.
In 2 days.
One
that's
night
incredible.
and a day of golf. It's a blessing by far, and
Sure.
it's all about the people. I mean, some people choose to give a little bit more. Some people choose to give what they can, but it's every little bit that gets added gets donated, and that's what's awesome, and it makes a big difference. So I think our goal would be obviously to meet or exceed what we did last year.
Sure.
But that's dependent on everyone who gets involved.
Another hint, another hint, right? So encouraging you to get out, get involved, as I'm sure I can speak for David in saying the same thing. So where do you see this going for the future?
Well, we keep outgrowing.
moving?
Yeah, we keep outgrowing venues, and the venues are just amazing. I mean, every venue we've ever been able to be a part of or to take part in has just been incredible, and it's always cool to grow. It's always cool to see more people get involved.
Sure.
What I love the most about the event is it's a family deal. So you don't have to, like some events I've gone to, it's just you. You're encouraged to bring your family. You're encouraged to bring your kids. At our silent auction, the kids are running around having a good time, and it's really cool to see the camaraderie of all the kids that have been there and seen each other grow up. It's really cool as a parent to see the kids grow up together, and really the money and being able to raise and donate money to the charity events, to the different charities is awesome. But
And
really
the
the people
charities
coming
for?
together.
And the charities are for those kids and their families,
And
right?
they're there with
And
us,
that's
which is
beautiful.
awesome.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. All right, there's the website right there, davidmossfoundation.org. It's their 14th annual celebrity golf tournament, and the Friday preceding the tournament, yes, you get to meet and greet the celebrities. That silent auction's there. The list goes on. Check it out. We're going to break. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelly Sanders. We've been talking with Mr. David Moss Jr. all about the David Moss Foundation and their celebrity golf tournament coming up here on the 28th and 29th of September. Big stuff happening. I mean, really and truly, from the minute this thing kicks off on Friday with the meet and greet and meet and greet with celebrities, you've got your silent auction. I love how it's so family oriented, because at the end of the day, the charities that you go to benefit are all about the children. I mean, it's a family experience through and through. Now, what do you say to the individuals? I would be in this boat. I enjoy golf, but I just don't have the time to really commit to it. So I'm thinking tournament, ugh, I don't want to look like a complete fool out there with really good golfers, because I think tournaments, wow. So what do you say to individuals like that maybe think I'm not good enough to do that? I have golf club shame.
Yeah, well, I can tell you out of experience, I used to only play golf once a year, and it was at the David Moss Foundation event. Up until about 2 years ago when I really got a set of clubs and really started trying to get better at it, and I'm still not good at all. But you don't have to be good. It's a scramble, so you're teamed up with people, and some people are better than others, but at the end of the day, everybody gets to take a shot. Whether it's good or bad, it really doesn't matter. It's just a good time. So if you are just an individual who would like to get involved and you'd like to come out and find a way to play, but you just don't want to commit to that because you're a little afraid of embarrassing yourself, on the tee box in front of all the celebrities, first tee, right in front of everybody, my driver slipped out of my hands. Just out of personal experience, and I did not do it on purpose. It wasn't to be funny. I was super embarrassed, but everybody laughed and I laughed, and it was a good time. So have no shame. It's going to be a good time.
Right? Gosh, that's funny. So, okay, so anyone with any experience level, bring your kids, bring your families, lots to do. And after the tournament is over, talk to me about that experience and that feel.
So what's cool is the Friday night you have the meet and greet. It's a dinner. It's a family-oriented deal. The silent auction, you get to get some great stuff. And then the next morning we play golf, and a lot of the families, like the kids obviously won't go and play golf, but we're at the Waldorf Astoria. It has an amazing pool, has amazing amenities. You're right by Disney. You're encouraged to go and just enjoy the day and just have a lot of fun.
Sure.
And then after the event, we have a lunch where we present the checks to the charities, and then a lot of people will spend the rest of the day there on the hotel, and a lot of people will get another room for the night after and just make it a weekend event. It's like a small mini vacation, good time where you're giving back.
Could you just come out and watch if you wanted to?
Yeah, of course.
Support people.
Absolutely.
All right,
Come out and support and volunteer. Get involved.
All right, so you heard him. Volunteer, get involved, come out and watch, come out and play. DavidMossFoundation.org, that's the website. You're looking at it right there, DavidMossFoundation.org. And of course, we'll have a link for you on our website in case you get lost, CW44.com. In the meantime, we're taking a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. As always, I want to thank you at home for joining us this week on Bayside. And of course, David, thank you so much for being here and enlightening us to what your foundation does. And good luck with that tournament. I'm excited to hear how well you did next year. All right, if you'd like more information, log on to davidmossfoundation.org. If you'd like to volunteer, that's also where you're going to go. And of course, we'll have a link for you on our website, CW44.com. In the meantime, have a great rest of your week. I'm Shelley Sanders. We'll see you next time.